Cheers to episode 11, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, gentlemen.
All right, what's up, everybody? It's Drew. You already know what it is. It's a aLikeMindz podcast. Thank you so much for coming back to us. We've had so much success, and it's all by the help of you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Every single time you see a video, go and like it and leave a comment for us. So we really appreciate that so much. What's up, boys? How you guys doing?
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
You know, you guys can see I got my guy here. This is my actually Uncle Andy.
Andy, what up?
We'll get into that a little bit more here in a second. Meyer, so you got to come to Cleveland. What'd you think?
I think Cleveland is pretty sick. Like I was telling these dudes, and probably you too, it reminds me of Denver, minus all the dispensaries. Like it has literally, it doesn't have a hockey team, does it?
We have a minor hockey team. It's not
a hockey team. It's got, stadium here, stadium there. So I'm all about sports. So I highly recommend Driz and Blake here, and Andy and Andrew. We all need to hit up a game because that's a blast, man.
Oh yeah, that sounds fun.
Ooh, maybe we have a aLikeMindz outing. Oh, go Browns!
Yeah.
You guys,
Meyer, I gave Meyer a private tour of Cleveland. We saw the Browns Stadium, the Guards Stadium, the Cavs arena, where, like you said, there is hockey. If you ever need a tour around Cleveland, just call me right here, aLikeMindz Touring Company. I'll get you.
Get them right.
Close.
They'll get you lost.
Yeah, I got us lost right into the middle of a protest down there. So that was really interesting. Well, I don't want to get into any of that too much, but it was really interesting seeing that and the movement that the people of their country were trying to make. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, one thing I learned, it's called the Lands because it's Cleveland or Cleveland. So we call the city the Lands. I think one of the signs says "Welcome to the Land" as you're driving in.
Yeah. Welcome to the land.
But then within the Lands, you pass the stadiums, and we were hanging out in a place called the Flats. And the Flats you're walking around, it's right on the water. You got all the wannabe yacht partiers who are just parked right there playing their music. Yeah. And then there's a bunch of little bars. And then what reminded me of Denver is they literally got punch bowl socials. They got I can't remember, but it just they got everything. There was everything in Cleveland, honestly.
Yeah, I think we were in Rum Runners where we sat down to drink. It's called Rum Runners. Their food was pretty good, I thought. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask you. What was the best thing you ate out there? What was your favorite food? Was there a certain place you ate at?
I'd say those little hush puppies were pretty fire.
Yeah.
Honestly, the
Rum Runners, that's where we got those hush puppies. They were delicious.
Yep. So the Lands, and then you were saying that right next door you got to meet your one of your idols, right?
Yeah, in the bar next door. Yeah, the host of RBS, the Really Big Show on ESPN 850. Last Thursday, I went up to the ESPN block party. Money Dog Drew. That's me. But I just happened to go into this bar actually for me and Brooke, my girl, to go take a bathroom break, and he was sitting there and started having a little convo with him. It was really awesome. He's a really good guy. Tony Rizzo is his name. Yeah,
Did you wash your hands before you shook his hand?
Yeah, actually, I try to be as sanitary as I can.
I haven't washed them since, right?
Yeah, I have not. When I was shower, I leave it out.
Meyer, was there any new beer you tried out there?
There was one called Zombie Dust, I think.
What is the one you drink, Blake?
That was Alien Juice. Yeah.
Okay.
It was Mardo is a local brewing company.
Those remind me of each other. Those are similar. Alien Juice.
Rachel was drinking
Dust.
Zombie Dust. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't drink beer like that. That stuff's gross to me.
Speaking of drinking, what's everybody drinking?
Yeah, what you got?
Right now, I'm drinking a Coors Light.
Okay.
I'm not with
Coca-Cola and Coors Light at the same time.
I got a DP.
John Deere edition right here.
I see that, yeah.
It says for the farmers.
Drew, I think I saw a case that
You can't
I think
hold
that's
your
the same
beer
case,
up.
yeah.
You can't hold your beer up without
Now,
a.
now we got to charge Bush
Right.
for getting
Cheers.
Cheers,
charge Bush and Coors.
All right, dude, let's get into it.
Sponsors.
I know you kind of slightly introduced us, but like, bring us up to speed with in the world or whoever's watching up to speed. You and your uncle, your mentor, your new aLikeMindz.
Yeah, so obviously you just kind of said it all real quick. This is Uncle Andy. He's literally my family. We have the same name, kind of. I'm Andrew S. Ellebrook. He's Andrew F. Ellebrook. So kind of named after him a little bit. And how I became an entrepreneur really kind of starts with him. I used to work for people all the time until one day he saw that I might be a good worker and he asked me to come try it out, work with him. And that gave me freedom to become more of my own boss.
And he took my job away. Let's say,
yeah.
I had to go somewhere else. He was so good.
Are you serious? Elaborate.
He's
No,
being a little bit like,
I'm being sarcastic.
he gave me his job. All right.
It was an evolution, and he took over basically. So,
And
Is
you guys
it radon or?
Yep, the radon. Yep. So not only did he mentor me in the radon and show me the way of that, it was also, it kind of translated into life a little bit. Well, actually a lot of it. And that's kind of one reason why I
come a long way.
Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you. But that's one reason why I really wanted to have him on the show. Last few episodes, we've been talking about no negative thoughts. We've been trying to figure out how we can help the troubled youth. And it made me think of who do I know that has good mental health and self-control. And that's him. You know, how he got self-control, I'm going to let him explain it a little bit. And why don't you just go ahead and take it over and just give us a little bit of a rundown of how you got to that point.
So when I was a kid, when I was probably middle school age, like, what are you, 12, 14, got bullied a lot, got stuffed in lockers, shoes stolen from me on the bus, choked with an umbrella, got beat up all the time. So my older brother used to wail on me a little bit. So when I got old enough, I took matters into my own hands and learned how to take care of myself. And so did some karate when I was a kid, but really the real stuff happened when in 1994 when I joined the Marine Corps. And so they basically taught me what I am passing on today. The stuff that I've done in between then and now is some martial arts, and I study everything. Somebody asked me about jiu-jitsu. No, I don't take jiu-jitsu classes, but do I know jiu-jitsu? I do know jiu-jitsu. Probably you're talking about Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So they all,
you were asking that question, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
And they all kind of blend together. And so there is no martial art that has its own specific special moves. They all borrow from one another, and they all kind of flow into each other and in and out of different styles. And so what I've discovered is that you've got maybe 30 techniques that translate from one to another to another to another. They all have punches, right? Well, who invented the punch? Nobody knows, right?
Me.
So yeah, you just perfected it. So basically what I am trying to do in my life now is teach people how to not be bullied. And that goes not just for kids, but for adults too. I mean, adults get bullied all the time. It may not be in a physical, like fighting type manner, right? But what it's about is developing your own personality so that people don't see you as a victim. Right. If they see you as a victim, they're gonna come after you in some way. And that's kind of what I believe. And if you can adopt some kind of a positive thinking into getting into get yourself into balance, right? Everything has an opposite. And so if you can balance yourself in your life, it radiates into everybody around you. And it's a really powerful thing. And a lot of people think it's just
I don't
positivity.
mean to stop you too
Yeah.
much, but you were mentioning balance real quick, and you have
Yep.
it's escaping my mind. What do you have on your shirt there?
Well, this is called Bagua. And so this is the 8 trigrams of life, or the elements of life. And so they all mean something different, like mountain, water, fire, different things like that. And the thing in the middle is yin yang, right? So there's you've got the white part, which is the feminine part, and the black part, which is the masculine part. But really what that means is that they're opposites and they balance each other out. So, but in each one, there's a little bit of the other. So that little black dot in the center of the white part is a little bit of the black part, and the same with the white part in the black part, if that makes sense.
Do you guys have any questions on how that makes sense real quick?
No, it makes sense to me. I'm
Following it?
with yin and yang.
Yeah,
And
same.
the positive ripple effect. I think you should continue on about like this, what you do and how you prevent people from getting bullied, and some of the things that you're creating those positive ripples for not only children but adults.
Yep. Well, it really comes down to mindset. And so how do you develop a mindset where you exude confidence? You can act confident, right? Some people view that as arrogance, right? And so what you don't want to do is act too confident to where it pushes people away. The confidence comes from other people seeing it in you, not you showing them, right? The way you do that is you perfect yourself. You work on yourself. You can't control anything else in the world except yourself. You can't even control your partner in life. If your wife or whatever, you can't control them. They have their own control. And so what martial arts does, martial arts is not fighting, all right? In fact, it's the opposite. It's peace. And if you want to get deep into it, what is the ultimate goal of war? Is it to kill people?
To protect whatever your
Take
body
over
is
stuff,
supposed
I
to
think.
take. God.
The ultimate goal in war is peace. It's the peace after the war. It's the accomplishment of squashing something that was a problem. They fought over it and they said, oh, all right, we're done. And then it's peace.
Okay.
So if you look at it in terms of a conflict, right? Not just war, conflict can be me and him having an argument. But what's the reason we argue? To get to the resolution. And the resolution is the peace. So that's what this is all about. This is all about peace. In fact, martial arts, if you look back and study martial arts history, we're talking traditional stuff. We're talking stuff that's 4,000 and 5,000 years old. There's manuscripts written in ancient China that are over 4,000 years old that teach the very same issues. And what it is they have, if you could read the Chinese language, you would see 2 symbols. One symbol is called Tao, or it's spelled T-A-O. You would say Tao, but it's Tao with a D. That's how it's pronounced.
Tao.
Tao. And you've heard of Taoism, right? That is, Tao is the way.
Okay.
So you guys watch what's the
Man,
Mandalorian? This is the way.
This is the way. Yeah. Yeah.
This is the way. This from Taoism. This is the way.
That's their based idea, huh?
This is Tao. This is the way. And so
This is the balance is the way. Balance mind,
balance.
right?
The way is to be balanced.
And that starts off here.
Like it starts here, and it starts here, and it comes from everything that you do. And so the other character one is Tao, the way, and the other one is, it can be pronounced many different ways, but the translation is roughly the way of stopping conflict. So if you were to say the word martial art in Chinese, it would be Wu Dao. And that means the way of stopping conflict.
You actually have Dao in your Facebook name, right?
I changed my name. So on Facebook, I was getting people that knew him contacted me because there was 2 Andrew Ellebrooks. I changed it to Andrew Tao Ellabrook, or Tao. And now, the rest is history.
Yeah.
But basically the whole idea is to, when in war, is to stop conflict. Nobody wants to fight forever, and no wars go on forever. They eventually end. And that's the peace. And that's where we get balance and peace from. So that's kind of the whole thing. And how I teach people that is the route, the way you get there, the way is through movements, body motion, body movements, techniques, memorization. When you're doing all these techniques, memorizing all these things and focusing your mind and your body together, you're at peace.
Right.
It's like meditation.
Right.
Yoga, all of that.
That's it.
Find that inner
That's it.
peace.
Yeah.
So it's not fighting. It's the furthest thing from fighting.
Right.
And so the self-defense that I teach has nothing to do with fighting. It's about going away from fighting, getting away from it. That's your first course of action, is to move away from it. And so, there's lots of ways to do that. Now, somebody gets a hold of you and you're cornered. Well, what are you going to do?
Well, hold on. Before we get a little,
You're gonna teach us, right? And you're
What'd
gonna
you say?
tell us.
yeah, exactly. But we're obviously, you can tell by the way he's talking, he's pretty humble, man. So let me give everybody a little bit of a roundabout explanation of why would I want to listen to this guy teach me self-defense. Well, you heard him say he was a Marine. Also, he told us that he had some martial arts background. Well, he's a second-degree black belt in what's the Taekwondo kind?
It's called Kwan.
Kwan Taekwondo. So he's pretty badass. This dude can probably kick me upside my head, and I don't know, you're like 48, I think. Dang, 48. Dang. I'm 30 now. So
Right here.
But I just wanted to open that up real quick to get the guys to kind of just get them involved, to ask you why, go ahead, Driz. Why don't you just take to ask,
Our way.
Yeah, so the Taekwondo that I just wanted to kind of touch on, like, what interests you in that. That you said that there's like 30 there's probably way more than different styles of fighting out there, but why that one, or what?
So I stumbled across that one kind of by just being a convenient place to train. There's a place in town here, and my teacher is Grandmaster Kim. Hi, Grandmaster Kim, if you ever watch this.
Shout out Kim's.
Kim's College of Martial Arts is what it's called. He was a Korean Special Forces instructor, and came to the United States in like 1977, 78. His two brothers were in Cleveland already, so he hooked up with them and opened up a school, and his school just happened to be here in Medina today. And so I helped them open up another branch. I was part of the new state-of-the-art school that they opened, and I actually quit my job. He took over for me. I quit my job to go be a martial arts instructor, and my body didn't hold up. I couldn't keep doing what I was doing physically, but the passion of it stopped, and I've been struggling to get back into it. And instead, I focused my energies on trying to teach people the right thing about what he teaches. And what Grandmaster Kim teaches is peace. And he calls all of his students peacemakers. And so it just stuck, man. I don't know if it was the right place, right time kind of thing, but it started as a convenience. It just so happened that I fell in love with it, and I fell in love with that man. That guy's like my grandfather. Over the years, lots of good advice, and
like a mentor for you, right?
Right.
Just like you are to me.
He showed me the way. And so that's something I can never repay him for, and he doesn't expect me to. And it's kind of a super old-fashioned. You know the Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, he's the real Mr. Miyagi.
Wax on, wax off.
It's for real. Yeah.
You're gonna have to share like a picture, a link, or something. That way we can flash it up on the screen so we can see this while you're talking about it, because we got that ability, and
How do we
we
do
all
that?
want to see.
When we go back and edit it over.
Okay,
we'll get it
yeah. All right.
Yeah. So you're talking about.
free advertising for College of Martial Arts.
Yeah, Jim's.
So do you have your own business now? What are you operating out of, or
No, I don't want to do it for money, man. I do it for free.
it's all free?
Anybody that wants to learn can come and learn from me. Now, that means that I don't get hundreds of people showing up at my door, but that's not the point. And sometimes people only need to learn a little bit to learn what they have to learn. So when you get involved in a martial art, you go there to learn how to fight, or you learn how to defend yourself, or you learn how to kick, block, whatever, or you do it for exercise. Everybody has different reasons. But when you start doing it, all of a sudden things start happening. And up here, things start happening and changing. And it changes the way you act. And it's a fantastic thing. So
Wait, what just happened? Did a ghost knock over your piano?
I was just
I would just scratch my head.
I was trying to play it off.
Smacked it.
Ow. I just got jacked too.
For free, all at your doorstep.
So do you like advertise anything on like Facebook or any of your social medias for someone to come ask you?
So it's taken me about 4 years to try to pin down exactly what I want to accomplish. And when you have something that's so big that honestly, if you start studying this stuff,
where do I start?
It's overwhelming. So it's taken me a long time to kind of thin out all the stuff I don't need to teach. Everybody learns front snap kick. Who wants to spend four hours a week on front snap kick? No. So there's a specific way that I want to go with this, and it's taken a long time. It's almost like writing your own martial art, like creating a martial art. But I'm really not. I'm borrowing from everything. So it's not unique to me. It's just I'm bringing it together. And so, yeah, that's part of the plan, is to
you do have like
get people
Facebook
to my door
page, right?
I do. I have a little Facebook group that I played around with just to cut my teeth and try to see if there's something I can do. And if I put enough energy into it, just, this goes into what you guys are doing here. If you put enough energy into something, you're going to win, and what you guys are doing here, you're going to win. And the reason you're going to win is because you're going to put your energy into it, and you're going to put hard work, and you're going to get better. And it's the same with martial arts. You get better. So it's about personal improvement and perfection, trying to find the perfect version of yourself. And you guys coming together like this is bringing out that in each other.
I love it. I love that.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers, yeah.
Cheers to that. Because you guys definitely bring my best out.
So is this something like, do you have to be in person? Like, could you teach a remote class if we had like?
You can teach techniques on Zoom or YouTube or whatever, but what you're missing is the human element. The human element is, and what I aim to do, and what most traditional martial arts do if they do it the right way, is they show you the way and then you figure it out. It comes full circle and it happens. You can't really do that when they don't know you personally, and so there's
see it on the whole, but it's like maybe you need to pull tighter in one grab, right?
Right.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things.
Like you can't see it on the video that you need to pull in that certain area, right?
And you need to have a training partner too.
Right.
So if you're doing it online, you need to have somebody else that can train with you so that you can do what you see.
Exactly.
But the thing is, I kicked this kind of right when COVID hit, so COVID slowed that whole thing down, and just I couldn't get anybody to show up. So it's now starting to go the other way, and COVID's going away. So I have a little, you would call it a dojo, right? But it's a training area in my pole barn, and I've invested some time and money in that. I've been building during COVID and all the stuff's going on. I've been building a car, so my energies have been redirected temporarily. But now that the car's getting done, The dojo is going to open back up. Maybe you guys can all travel to Ohio for a weekend. We can go to Cleveland. You can come to my dojo
Awesome.
and, see
What-
what.
What's the dojo, like Cobra Kai? You know how they got it in like Mr. Miyagi? What's your dojo?
It's there's no empty beer cans in the back room, like Johnny's little stash of whatever Coors drinks or something.
You gotta call it.
Just call it?
Yeah,
Nah,
you just call it the dojo.
it's just my training area for now.
Nice.
It'll evolve.
Exactly.
Maybe it'll be the aLikeMindz training area.
There we go.
Oh.
We sponsor
that.
our first sponsorship, right?
That's
Oh yeah.
you, right?
We'll cross
Drew.
sponsor each other.
Drew, I wanted to ask, you learned from him radon system and everything. Have you taken a opportunity to learn from him?
Oh man, dude, when you work with a guy that's training martial arts like every day or every other day, he wants to come and show you his moves and stuff, right? So we're at work at people's houses and we're freaking sparring. He's telling me to stand here and he's gonna like do a whole pressure hold on my wrist. I'm like, come on, man.
Just the pinky flip.
But yeah, I've definitely got a few pointers here
But
and there.
I feel like it's more of a mental learning at the same time. I'm sure you learned that. How many years did you guys work together before you took over the business?
5, something like that. 4, 5, I think, something like that.
Boy, I'd have to, yeah. Let me rewind
I've
the
been
clock
doing
for a minute.
radon, I think 8 years at least now. So
Probably 5 years straight at least.
yeah.
And then I kind of came in and out a little bit, but
Yeah, I started working with him. I think I was like 21. Just turned maybe I just turned 22. And yeah, I've had the same career my last the last 8 years of doing radon. I showed him I could run tools real quick, and there you go, got a whole career. And he did a lot of impact on my mental health. I've been through a lot in my life, and when you work with a guy for all the time like that, it's pretty much the only person you really get to talk to. Maybe you got 1 or 2 other good buddies you have not at work, but yeah, I think
we
sometimes
have some good talks.
yeah, sometimes even though I'm the younger guy, he would tell me some stuff, and I felt at least that I might have gave him some good advice sometimes. One time only, but
Yeah, for sure.
but
He never challenged me though. Now his younger brother, well, one of his younger brothers, challenged me, and in a 2-minute, 120-second free for all, he touched me once.
right here or what?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'm not
Now I
jumping
think
into
you probably could touch me at
What are
least.
you, an illusionist or something?
Yeah, Houdini up here.
Well, I'll tell you, you heard him say he wants to teach how to not attack, but how to escape.
Right, exactly.
He's very evasive.
That's why I said Houdini.
What do you think? Your best move is probably a block. I mean,
It's a block and counter strike at the same time. So it's one move, but it's 2 moves.
yeah. I want like a block punch,
Straight to the
That's a
throat.
Sean O'Malley.
Yeah.
So we'll have
Partner is evasive.
him. We're gonna go out to the dojo after this, and we'll see if I have a black eye next episode.
Yeah. Somebody's gonna have a black eye.
No, I'm super pumped, and I appreciate. I don't know who reached out to who in regard to coming on the show, but this is awesome. I love what you're saying. It's great to hear it from another person, especially family, and good energy. I get good energy from you, and I like what you're saying. I can't help but just saying we got freaking cheers again, man.
Cheers to that, brother.
Cheers.
No more liquid.
I think I reached out to you, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. A couple of our episodes really made me think about specifically and what I just said on, for the listeners, I started thinking about where did I get that from? Well, I wanted to take it right to the source, and I learned a lot of my mental health can be given credit to Andy out here. Yeah. So, but I wanted to recap. You made this shirt, right?
Yeah, I made this one.
Yeah. So he makes shirts too.
I couldn't find shirts with stuff on it that I wanted to wear.
Exactly.
You find stuff that has like
Cleveland Browns logo.
or like I don't get into all that stuff. So ask me about this. I'll be out somewhere and they'll like not trying to be racial or anything, but some Chinese dude will be like, hey, yeah. We're like, yeah.
Where do you
And
get
then that's
those?
it. And it's cool.
Where would we get one of those shirts?
Oh, I made this. So I mean, I don't know.
We just gotta contact you.
I got stuff
Yeah.
where I put on the sleeves, I put all kinds of stuff.
You could probably, I'm sure he could easily come up with a couple shirts. If you
I'll
want.
come up with something. We'll hook you guys up.
Sounds good. I like that.
Sure.
See, we got Blake in an
Oh, yeah.
aLikeMindz shirt.
Yep.
Yo, like Mindz, baby.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's you guys. It's so crazy to think that shirt was just in Ohio on Sunday, and
Right.
now we're in it in Iowa.
Right. So was all this stuff.
Yeah, you guys got the official stickers now.
So is this dog wearing this collar that has the aLikeMindz tag on it?
Yeah, we got official keychains.
No way.
No, I don't know if you know this or
Got some
not.
gear. I'm gonna leave you some. I left it in the car. Being, I'm
All right.
obviously you guys. Everybody can probably tell that I'm not in my normal spot. I'm over at Andy's house. If you didn't get that point already, so
I love it.
at least I brought my computer so that I could do the show. So that's all I was worried about.
Oh yeah.
Yo, that's sick. Me and Blake, well, both of us got a little love from, I don't know what you would call it, the car gods,
Car demons.
the
whatever.
car demons.
You guys got a little car trouble, huh?
I just got back from driving all the way across the country. Well, riding across the country. My lady did most of the driving, and
Shout out to Rachel.
we're leaving the golf course, and I'm coming down this hill, and all of a sudden, all the lights just come on in the car. I'm like, oh shoot! I get to the bottom of the hill, and then all the lights like started flickering, and then the steering wheel just went tight, and the car just double flashed and just shut off, and the car just died.
Just locked in the gear.
Like, just done. So we made it all the way here. It happened here, and like something with the battery, the alternator. But like, if this would have happened in any other state, we would have been
Oh my
stuck.
gosh.
We would have been.
So you got a big old blessing that you made it to
like,
the hometown.
I'm thankful for my car to break down.
God bless you. God bless you, sir.
Thank you so much. And it's like me and Rachel were just talking. We're like, as soon as this car breaks down, we're gonna ride it till it breaks down. We're gonna get like a Tacoma or something. So that energy, but like,
So wait, it broke down that bad? You're getting a new car?
well,
We don't know yet.
Rachel says we don't know yet, but she kind of winked at me like, hopefully it's broke down for
You're
me.
gonna be doing car shopping back home. That's
He
crazy.
said Tacoma.
Yeah,
Toyota.
well, what car broke down? You had a Toyota
Toyota RAV4. It had just hit 200,000 miles.
going across the country. Would you put in 1,300 on it the last few days?
Jeez.
Yeah, the last day. But I think it's that Iowa humidity. Friggin' just soaked it right up. But then, Blake, what happened just a few minutes ago?
Okay,
both of us.
I'm running late to the meeting, obviously, and then I had to run and get marshmallows, chocolate, and graham crackers for my daughter. They're having a fire, so she wanted to do s'mores. And then I'm driving over here, trying to come in hot. I thought I hit the curb, but there's a metal piece sticking out, just sharp as shit.
Oh.
It just slices a hole in the tire, pops the tire. So
It sounded like you ran over like a thing of glass or like a.
So like I do at your house every time, Blake. I just like pull it
yeah,
on the
Drew
curb.
does it every
just,
time. He
like,
just bumps up right
drop
on top
down.
of the curb and falls
I'm
down.
right next.
Like
Yeah.
it's a rebar or something.
Oh my god.
Okay, so it's like a drainage ditch. I thought
It's a sewer.
yeah, I thought
And it
I
has like a
Oh,
metal
man.
cap on the sewer.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Some curb ninjas.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad
right.
are safe. Both of you guys were riding in the same car today, and then both you guys had car trouble separately. So that's wild. It's
Wild.
at least you guys are here. No injuries, no car crashes. So
The
Exactly.
part, yeah, no negative thoughts. It's like
Right.
we're not even really worried about it because everything just works out in its own little special way.
It was a
The
blessing.
Drews have us finding our inner peace.
The yin and yang right there.
Yep.
It's just like you don't have to worry about it. It'll always just come around and circle.
That car has served us so much good.
And that goes back to just balance.
The balance, right?
You're gonna find that balance, right?
Yeah.
Because you know what? We got a spare. We can get it home. We can get a tire tomorrow. So it's not a big deal.
That's right.
On him, with him, the other hand, he's got to buy a new car.
He's got to buy a new car.
That don't even turn over.
Complete opposite.
I hit up my dad and I was like, yo, you need to get up here. Like, he knew the streets, so he comes wheeling up and we're just in the like busy off of transit there, and then we had to jump start it to get it into neutral, which is the battery, and then everyone just gave it a push and I'm just riding down the wheel like, you know how like when your car's dead it's hard to turn the steering wheel, it's hard to push on the brakes, so we just coasted it around. He hooked us up with the toe straps, he's pulling me through the neighborhood. I'm just like trying my best. Man. That's what we went through today, baby. Woo!
And
So
you know what?
this wasn't,
so everything's good. Yeah.
Hey, this wasn't a car issue, but my family went up to the lakes this weekend, and my stepdad, they were just about to start tubing, and he couldn't turn the boat on. For some reason, the boat wouldn't turn on, so they're just stuck in the middle of the lake. They had to pull the kids in from tubing, and they call the tow company in the lake, whoever comes and gets them, and they get the boat towed back, and they call the mechanics, and they're like, yeah, you just got to flip a switch and the boat turned on. It's like, who do you call first next time? What'd you learn? Just call the mechanic and see if there's an issue, or
if you know a mechanic, that is
right.
Oh my.
That tow company ripped off that toe right there.
Exactly. Luke. Shout out Luke.
Hey, Luke.
One time I have a similar story that involves Andy like that. I had a 4-wheeler and super cool 4-wheeler, man. Yamaha Wolverine, my favorite 4-wheeler ever. My silly little brother wrecked it and ruined it. So shame on you. But one time I was getting it fixed up by this guy that was a mechanic. He had like this 4-wheeler shop by my house, and I took it to him and it ran like a dime. It was start right up every time, no problems. I was getting wheel work, like brakes replaced or something, new rims. And he called me up like, yeah, your bike's all done, but it won't start. I'm like, no, no, that thing starts. So I go, hurry up, get that thing out of there as fast as I can, bring it to his house, drop it off because I'm in a rush and stuff. And he calls me back, like, I'm like, not even home yet.
15 minutes later.
Yeah, I'm not even home yet. He's like, there was, what happened to it? I don't even know.
There's a safety mechanism on the reverse switch so that you have to pull this lever in or something to get it in reverse, and it was stuck. So it thought you were trying to get in reverse and it wouldn't start. So all I did was pull it back and put a zip tie on it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Problem solved right there.
He fixed it so quick, and the guy was like, this guy was trying to rip me off.
Yeah, and he knew what was wrong with it.
Yeah, he wanted to, just keep it a few more days and say, oh, $500. Yeah,
You guys ever try to turn your car off, but it's like not in park, so your car is not turning off? You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
I got another story too with Drew. Drew actually forgot to put his e-brake. Put his e-brake off. He's over here.
Can't trust Blake doing nothing.
I'm like, hey, your e-brake.
Car just started rolling away or what?
No, we got that Blackstone grill in the back of the car, and so instead of like breaking our backs, we were like, all right, we're just gonna reverse it as far as we can up the hill and just like carry it from there. And once we were done getting the grill out of the car, I was like gonna go down the hill, and it's like not a hill like we should worry about, but I thought like I was clipping like the back end or something was touching, and I'm like pressing the gas as hard as I can, and Blake like last second's like, the e-brake. It's like, oh my god. And then it just like casually goes down the hill.
So many incidents regarding vehicles in the last few days. We're gonna have to take.
You started that, Drew, when you started working on your car.
We're gonna have to like step up our vehicle game, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I had some good luck. I got an engine started, man.
Oh yeah, well he's got Mustang. It's a Fox body, right?
1984 Mustang GT.
Damn.
Pop it up right here.
So
Pop it
We're
up.
getting it right here.
so it was it came with a
Give
four
me all the extra work to do in editing.
the guy who built it was a tuner. He is like into tuner cars. So he put this giant. I mean, this turbo was like this big, and giant intercooler and a computer like a laptop, and this thing ran really bad until 4,000 RPMs, and then it would like do a wheelie, you know, take off. So we were messing with it, tuning it, and it spun a rod bearing.
I didn't have that much horsepower. Just yeah.
Yep, just tore that rod bearing right out of there. So we put a V8 engine in it out of a 95 Mustang, and we just finished it 2 nights ago. Started it for the first time, and her name is Lenora.
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 Are you guys into Stranger Things at all?
Yeah.
So Lenora Hills is the town that they're in season 4.
Okay.
So we named her after that because I like Mustangs and I like Eleanor. You guys know.
Hey, shout out. That's my favorite car. baby.
So instead of Eleanor, it's Lenore.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, shout out Nicolas Cage, Gone in 60 Seconds.
Hey,
That's the name of
favorite
the
car
Mustang.
right there, baby. Lady Eleanor.
What color is she?
She's white with red pinstripes.
Cool.
Wow.
That's
We
nice.
have white vehicles around
That's right,
here. I
white.
picked that up from him also a long time ago. I said, what color vehicle should I buy? And he says, look, man, either buy white or black, but white's easier to keep clean. It looks
is.
clean, right? I'm like, okay, I listen to it, look cool, matches my work trailer and everything. So I got white. Well,
Bingo on the scene.
got another white truck. Also have bought another car since then. It's white. I tell everybody to buy white from now on because it looks
And
best.
he doesn't wash any of them because they hide dirt.
Right, they look clean.
You're gonna have. I seen a picture on Instagram. This dude took like a black marker and just made it look like anime. You know how there's a bunch of lines.
Mhm.
I don't know if you remember that Fortnite. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
had the what was it called? Can't remember what game it was, but they always play it. And they like Fortnite had it, and it was a bunch of different like lines. They'd like accent everything, like the crosses in their like skin or like, yeah, I don't know.
Like a invert game mode.
Yeah, it's like yes, yep.
Okay.
It's like inverted
Actually,
like cartoon.
His
Yeah.
son is really good at Fortnite. I played with him a couple of times. Plays on like a computer board or something like that.
Logan, what's up, Logan?
Yeah, shout out Logan.
Logan.
What is he? He's playing on a PlayStation with a keyboard or something?
No, Xbox.
Xbox with a keyboard.
Yeah.
And that dude, I play with him and a couple of his friends. He's a freshman.
Yeah.
They are going to be a sophomore.
Sophomore, 15. Yeah.
So that dude is.
Andy was saying that he was going to break out his Atari and get us playing some older version video
Yeah.
games.
There we go.
I will smoke you guys in Pac-Man.
Let's go, baby. Woo!
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, accepting that for sure.
Okay. I guess we'll just have to, when you guys come to the aLikeMindz dojo, we'll have to not only have a sparring challenge out in the gym, come in here and get it going on Pac-Man.
And I have a 10-foot screen we can play Pac-Man on.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now.
Yeah.
What is it, a projector or
Can,
what?
can we get a camera
Yeah.
flip?
Projector.
I'm not gonna do a camera flip and knock over all my stuff.
That's the laptop.
He'll knock over
Maybe
all
I'll
my beer
take a
cans.
picture before I leave.
Sound like Blake pulling
There's
into my
somebody in the
house.
background. Oh, that's a dog.
Hey, Tango, what's up?
Good boy.
Drew just met Tango.
Yeah, he's a pretty good boy. He had a hilarious story. This dog was at the hotel. He had to, do his business, and all of a sudden, Myers walking him along the grass line. There's like a wood line with tall grass and weeds and stuff, and all of a sudden the dog has to, do number 2 and starts backing his booty up into the weeds. Right? He hided his poo. He took a poo, hiding himself, and I just couldn't get over that. It was cracking me up, man.
Drew.
He needs
Oh,
privacy.
you were staring.
He was
right
like
at him.
embarrassed to poo in front of strangers or something.
No, I got
Let's see.
when we lived out in Colorado, that dog freaking, oh my God, never ceases to amaze me. But we're going to the basketball court and he finds this tree and he just like backs his butt up to this tree and like just puts the poo like a pie on the side of the tree. And he did that at Carla's house too, at Whitney's mom's. It was just like, just create a nice little tree stump on there.
He said, you know what? I don't like this tree here.
He's marking the territory.
There's a brand new branch growing out of it the next year.
That's how he marks his territory.
That's a good dog, though. He's a pretty good dog. When you stayed in a Hilton and he didn't get you guys kicked out, so that right there,
Shit, you
that's
didn't
not a red flag.
get kicked out either. Cheers to
Green
that,
flag.
brother.
Cheers to that, man.
Hey, no one got kicked out of the Hilton.
You guys are just talking about tango pooping.
On the podcast.
So I guess we can just anybody have any good questions they had prepared or thought up while we were
How long were you in the military for?
I served from 94 to 98.
94 to 98. Nice.
And
Awesome.
the Clinton administration cut all the budgets, so we didn't do anything. I was a heavy machine gunner.
That was my next question. I was just gonna say,
So,
what was your job? Yeah.
MOS is 0331. And I qualified expert on 7 major weapon systems. So yeah, I know my way around the bullets a little bit.
Awesome.
Coolest thing I ever shot was the M2 50 caliber automatic machine gun.
Holy, let's pop that one
The
up.
butterfly triggers and the barrel's like,
All the triggers. Yes. The thumbs. Yes. Those.
yep.
Is that the same one that is like at the top of those Humvees
Yep.
that you're standing out of the
Turret mount. Yep.
the turret mounts? I had a
That's,
buddy who did the same thing.
and you probably saw the movie Black Hawk Down, right?
Yes.
Love it. Yeah.
So that was in Mogadishu, and I was in Somalia, and I was on standby during that conflict, and I was this close from going, and I'm glad I didn't go down there. That was a mess.
right. We want peace.
So
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
no, I never. I served during peacetime. Never saw any combat, but got to blow a lot of stuff up. I was in a cold weather mountain unit, so we used to train up in the Upper Peninsula in Michigan, and it was pretty cold, like -30. So yeah.
So were you like making like? Was there like snow huts or like were you doing? Like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We dug into the side of the hillside, and you could see the layers of snow. So you would dig out big bricks and literally build walls. And we had a fire down in there, dude. It was like 70 degrees.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I only asked that because I'm reading
Yeah.
a book and they were just talking about that. It was they're cold weather training and they were having to dig in there and
Honestly, with the gear we had, it was fantastic. I never got cold, never got wet.
Nice.
It was pretty amazing. Yeah.
Nice. What's the name of your book again? I know you talked about that
it was Navy SEAL Team 6, the American Sniper. It's like
awesome.
those snipers that were on SEAL Team 6. Yeah.
Did you finish it?
We recommend.
I'm actually on
SEAL
chapter
Team
9,
6.
so I have 2 more
Okay.
chapters left, and then I'm done. Yep. So
Okay, you're making a dent in there. That's awesome, bro.
Congrats, bro.
Yeah.
We're trying to push on everybody.
yeah.
SEAL
So
Team 6, that's the one with Bin Laden, right?
actually, that's my next book I want to pick up.
Okay.
Rob O'Neill is actually the guy that actually took Osama bin Laden out. So I
Okay.
just listened to a podcast with him, and that was very interesting. I suggest you guys all listen to that. It was pretty.
What
cool.
is it? How am I going to listen to it?
Let me actually look that up because I forgot.
Go
It's
ahead.
Sean Edwards. I think Sean Edwards is the podcast.
Don't worry, we'll pop it up.
But yeah.
later.
Sean Edwards, if you
Sean-
ever want to have Blake on as aLikeMindz guest on there, go ahead. Call us up.
Oh yeah.
So this is like, I don't know. Since it's like another question, we're kind of on that topic. Are you getting any are you still getting rewarded from the government at all for your service or your time spent? No benefits?
That's all we're going to
Nope.
go with that. No.
No, I hear like both sides. It seems
Yeah.
like people who are like actively serving talk about how the benefits are great, but then like people who have served are like, nope.
I think once it's done, right? Even the VA is not as good. I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
you got to
I-
go and
yeah.
you got to go and apply at the VA and get
Right.
I mean, it's just not very good care compared to like private insurance. And I have pretty good insurance, you know, so I don't need the VA. There's a lot of guys that do, and for those guys, it does help. But
Right. That's so cool.
Blake, that game that you were thinking about, it was called Borderlands.
Borderlands. Thank you. Yes, when they had it. Yes, Borderlands.
played that.
Nice.
I was just saying you should draw your car like that,
Post-apocalyptic.
Drew, because he has that white BMW. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have to check that out. I've never heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds cool.
It's a good one.
These are all for anybody that if you're a viewer for your knowledge, we all met playing the game. That's
honestly, me and Drew played Call of Duty. Me and Drizzy played Call of Duty, and then we were in a little clan, and then we took this whole lobby, and then Drew popped in. He was like one of the only ones that got in, and it was like his group versus our group, and he was just kicking our ass. And then I went over and I was like, "Yo, Drew, you're gonna come join our squad, all right?" And then ever since then, man, it's history. So
pretty much, yep.
Yeah.
Now here we are today on episode 11.
right.
Did
And
you
what,
say
it's
that
been,
was
what,
almost
6 years?
7 years ago?
Yeah, 7 years,
Yeah.
6 years, 7 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been at least 7 years. Yep. That was like before, right around when my daughter was born, and she's like almost 7.5. So
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yep.
What's his name? Armand?
Armin, yeah.
Armin?
Armin also, yeah. He was with
Okay.
us. You guys all listening, remember him from
Yep.
episode 10. If you haven't seen episode 10, go check it out and like it, because we need you guys to do that. But yeah, Armin also, we met through a different fella named Kevin, who didn't end up becoming as tight with Kevin, but still stay in touch with him, all on Call of Duty. And I've gone up to hang out with Armin, and I bought what Blake mentioned, is the Beamer from Armin. That was pretty cool, you know, just driving up to get a car and driving back home upstate.
Shout out to Armin.
Shout out Armin.
Shout out my boy Armin. Let's go.
AR, baby.
Cheers.
Yeah, you gotta start drinking your Gatorade.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
one more back here.
Andy, you right in Cleveland, or you down in Akron, or how close?
So I'm in I'm south of Cleveland, southwest of Cleveland, about 30 miles, 25 miles, in a town called Medina,
Medina.
known as Funky Cold Medina.
Ooh.
Hey, tell him how I
You guys don't know nothing about that though.
Yeah, that's a jam.
Tell him how I was pronouncing the city that you were unfamiliar with called. Well, I
No,
don't know.
you say how do you pronounce it?
I was like, yeah, normally we stay in Elria.
You know where that is? Yeah.
This dude's like, Elria? Where the hell is Elria? And then I start typing in my GPS. He's like, Illyria? Question mark? I'm like, oh, that's how it's pronounced.
It's like
we had we have good experiences in Illyria, don't we?
Oh man, you've got to bring that up.
Man, one of our most dreadful jobs we ever had to deal with was in Illyria, and so that's why it made me think of that. But yeah,
But the drives home, that was worse.
yeah, it's just so
It was in the
boring.
middle of the winter, and literally it's 0 degrees outside with like 3 feet of snow. And
Having to drive slow, yeah.
Drew, before we took off, we had a little time to relax,
Right.
and so we drove home fully relaxed. And then I didn't know where I was. We drove through this town, and I thought I was transformed back into. You guys know where Mayberry is, like from yeah, Andy Griffith, the black and white Andy with
Have you all ever seen
Barney
Andy
Fife.
Griffith? You know that at all? No, you guys not old
Oh
enough.
man, we are way over your head right now.
We're all the same age, Drew.
Mayberry.
Are we not old enough?
I'm older than you guys by like 2 years.
Except for
But
Andy.
Mayberry is basically like a black and white town from a show called the Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we're driving and Andy goes,
Is it like a suburbia? Like every house is
Okay.
the same, or what? Like
no, it's like a
It's
Western
like
town.
Old
almost.
fat. This town hasn't changed since
okay, right, okay.
1950. So you drive through this town and you're like, what? You're like, what the hell's going on? And I had no
Did I
clue
just
where I
time
was.
travel back?
Yeah, we time
That's
traveled.
what I'm
almost.
saying. We
Yeah.
transformed like that.
All of a sudden, we were just in Mayberry. Like,
Somehow we got home. I mean,
you just travel south enough.
yeah. We went through Elria, you know, and then into Grafetown.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
So
That was hilarious.
you grew up in Ohio then? And how many
Yeah.
siblings did you have?
Oh, geez, I have an older brother. His dad. He used to beat me up all the time.
That's what older brothers are for.
Is that the brother that you said used to pick on you?
Oh yeah,
Is his dad?
it's his dad. Yeah.
Hey,
there-
that's
there-
off his
listen.
ass right now. No.
Yeah.
There was a point in time though where he realized that I could take it, right?
It was a tables turn
And it
situation.
changed everything.
Yeah.
But so younger brother, he's like 8 years younger than me, and I have a sister who's 15 years younger than me.
Awesome.
She's
Yeah, she's only 3 years older than I am.
yeah.
Kind of me growing up was kind of, she was a sister to me
Yep.
than an aunt because she was so young. We just kind of grew up together, and
Yep.
it's
You know,
crazy how family can become like, you know, so tight like that.
fun fact: she wrestled in high school,
Awesome. Yeah.
She'll take you.
so it's a whole family of
Don't see that very
badasses
often.
here.
Against the boys.
I think
Yeah.
actually a couple years ago there was a girl
Yeah.
in one state. Yeah, it was
Nice.
She won. Yeah, she in her weight division she won state.
out there with you guys. They won a girl won state.
I think so. Like in the Iowa tournament. Yeah.
Nice. We have a couple girls here in Ohio. Just like Iowa, Ohio's a huge wrestling powerhouse, and every year I think there's a couple girls that beat the
The
boys.
whole unit.
I would hate to be that boy.
That
Yeah,
would
you would kind of have to, right? Either you
join
lose.
Andy's mental health balance after the girl
After-
pins you in the state
yeah.
championship.
You need a lot of classes after that.
You lose for beating up the girl, or you lose for
Right, you're gonna lose having a
Either
wrestling
way.
girl there,
I
huh?
think they would need Andy's dojo after that, right?
Yeah.
Multiple classes.
Andy, then you go into high school. Do you play any sports?
I dabbled a little bit, but see, all the guys that bullied me in school were all the athletes. So I couldn't play football because every one of them were all football players, and you know, I wasn't tall enough to play basketball. So you know, there's that.
Wait. That is the reason why. But Andy was fast as shit, right? I confirmed this with my dad and grandpa. Andy was shit, right? But the ball would come through the air and just hit him off his face.
Yeah, I
Nothing
was
wrong with
great
that.
until they threw me the ball.
That's why you got to be the running back. Just give it to him, and then he goes.
They would beat me up. They were the bullies.
Guys that he would try to take their other job, and they're like, "No, you
right.
can't
Yeah.
catch, so we're gonna make you want to quit because
Yep.
we're me." That's so
Then,
basically.
so then you don't play any
mean to
sports.
the
and then
guys that can't catch.
you go right into the military after high school. Or?
Yeah, I was 20 when I went in the military, and so I tried my hand at auto mechanics. I worked at a garage and learned how to change oil and brakes and stuff like that, and then decided that wasn't the life for me, and then I went away for a little while.
Right.
And then when I got back, I started working on cars again.
Yeah, building cars and golf carts.
Yep.
That's his favorite thing. Is he builds some like monster golf carts.
Soup up some golf carts.
Yeah, we
we
put
need a aLikeMindz golf cart.
Do you have
long,
right?
long travel suspension, big V-twin engines.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, they do like, I mean, if you raced a regular golf cart on one of these, it'd be like,
Turtle in the hair.
oh yeah.
So do you have a business doing that then? Can we like, hey, I need a
My-
golf cart. How do we contact you for one?
My wife wouldn't let me do
It's
that.
she lets him do a side hustle on it.
Pop up Myers TikTok from the other.
I do
golf
build them
day.
and sell them though, so once in a while.
I'm sure if you guys wanted a golf cart, you know, you hit for a little bit of cash, we'll get you one built up pretty well.
Tell you what, you guys bring some money to Ohio. I'll show you around Elria. We'll go down to Medina, and then
You're
dojo
never
work.
heard of Elria.
We'll do some work in the dojo, and I'll
I'm
set
not gonna get lost in Elria.
Let's
or
go. That sounds
Go
like
back in time.
And we'll record it the whole time.
And I'll take you for a ride in the Mustang and watch your the poo run down your leg.
Oh my God.
Maybe even let us drive it, right?
No, I don't know about that one.
Not after
Yes,
your
it is.
I'm ready to get
experience.
golf.
We'll have to be on an airport to do that so we don't crash. Just straight.
Don't forget that you just told us that both you guys had car trouble today. He doesn't want you touching his car.
Yeah, no curb ninjas on the Mustang. No.
Oh man.
Yo, one thing I did want to do in your eyesight, Drew, is from Ohio. I know Drew has been putting in some money in regards to like buying shirts. Now Blake's wearing it from Ohio, but I wanted to have Drew see me giving Blake this little stockpile. These magnets, sick.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
sir.
those are
Get you
sick.
some
Blake,
magnets.
Blake finally has his very own keychain. He's got a vehicle with 3 wheels. I don't know what he's gonna do with it. These stickers,
Put on the keys
there's
anyway.
a lot more in that. Freaking give him stock. These right here are sick. I love these. Like, what do you
Those
call
are-
them?
Hologram.
Those are holographics.
The holographic ones are sick. I like these a lot.
Those are bad.
Boom. And then obviously you can't go wrong with these ones. These are sick.
The originals, the
Oh, yeah, those
OGs.
are awesome.
And like
You guys don't know. That's sweet, dude. Those were all literally like he just said in my possession. And just to get now, I know that you guys are in Iowa and they're all the way out there.
Yes.
And walking around the land, we were walking around the land, and I don't know how many stickers you gave out, but people are putting them places because we're walking in the flats and we just see aLikeMindz stickers posted everywhere. It's like, who the hell's out here posting these? 'Cause we're seeing aLikeMindz everywhere.
You
dude.
know, there's a breed of people out there that'll just slap stickers on
I
stuff.
know, right? It's like,
And you just gotta
That's
sniff them
insane.
out.
dude, the land, that's hometown.
The land, baby.
The
Cheers.
land.
The land, you know, don't come
That's
after
the
us
land.
for
The
finding
land.
stickers.
Wow.
Cheers to the land.
The Browns, dude, I'm never gonna root against the freaking Cleveland team for sure.
Oh, another fun fact I'll throw at. I grew up about 1.5 miles from where LeBron James grew up, and I his cousin, who sat behind him on the bench for all of his games, and he was one of the kids that bullied me.
Dang, LeBron James' cousin was beating on my uncle. Driz, hold on. I want you to recap. I don't know if anybody else caught his face, but how were you feeling when you just heard the news?
What news?
I don't know. That's
LeBron's
pretty
cousin
shocking.
was bullying.
Yeah, I think that's the only right thing to do is try to get him on the show and maybe hear his thoughts and what was going through his head at the time. And
Right.
Maybe he had some
Men's-
maybe he had some problems at home, so I don't know. That's
Hey, I'm not gonna make
You know?
any assumptions or anything.
right. No, I know. But that's usually how it goes, right?
You guys can probably edit that out. I'm just saying.
Man.
No, but I want to just kind of go ahead and let anyone, if anybody has any more open questions they want to get to, you guys go ahead and just bust them out here because we're
Man, yeah.
pretty good. We got a great episode. So
We're gonna have to start starting earlier because these podcasts are gonna end up being 2, 3, 4 hours long, man.
right.
It's already been like, has it been over an hour already?
We're like an hour mark right now.
I don't know. Yeah.
It kind of flew past. That
It
was a
did.
great time.
It did.
Yeah, it was. And he's been a great entrepreneur for us. If you guys didn't know, he's
Great mind.
an entrepreneur. He started what, 5 businesses?
Yeah,
A 6th one's coming, I think, right? Or is
maybe we'll see.
maybe we'll have an aLikeMindz gym. So
Is there any advice you have for us going forward as a unit and as a team?
I would say don't let people discourage you from doing something that you want to accomplish. So, some of the most famous people, most successful people in life came from, like Mark Cuban is one of my idols, man. And people told him his whole life he's wasting his time. He's going the wrong way. He's not going to be anything. And look at what he's done. So I'm not saying you're going to become Mark Cuban, right? That's the exception, not the rule. But don't let people discourage you and do your thinking for you. If this is something you guys really want to do and make it big and make it good and better every time, you got to keep at it. You got to keep adding to your arsenal of skills and interviewing skills and different things that you do. I like the digital background thing. That was cool. Stuff like that. I mean, just keep at it. And really, you can become anything that you want to become. You just have to decide. And if you decide, you guys as a unit, there's power in numbers. If you decide together and you stick together, you can make it, man. You can do it. And you guys have a good core and of people and
Hey, if we make it, you make it,
personalities,
brother.
and keep at it.
Yeah, go ahead. Someone take the wheel. I want to speak on that a little bit, but go ahead. You guys go first if anybody has anything.
I mean, I know like it's been hit on. Like I know you're doing your thing in regards to allowing self-confidence, but like let's say I'm like a middle schooler and I'm watching this and I'm looking up to you because like you seem like a father figure and you seem very educated. What would you tell like a kid who's getting bullied? Like how do we like attack? What would you say to a kid like who might watch you get bullied?
I have a good answer for that. And here's
a good question.
Here's the problem. People don't want to tell anybody. They don't want to say something because they're afraid of one, getting attacked. Because they told them, hey, I'm gonna slit your throat if you tell anybody I did this. That happened to me, man. So I was scared to death, scared out of my mind. Wouldn't even tell my parents what was going on. So number one, don't be afraid to tell somebody. Number two, tell a teacher. School is a protected, these places have to be safe. And these teachers have an oath to protect these kids, not just to teach them, but to protect them. And that brings us into some of these school shootings and all this other stuff. There's going to be a lot of changes made, but tell a teacher. And then three, find somebody to help you that's your peer. Strength in numbers. 3 against 1. I don't care what 3 kids they are. It could be 3 puny little skinny little guys, big strong jock. 3 wins, I'm telling you. And when they see that and they feel that, the bullying stops. The bullying comes from weakness. So if you show weakness and you continue to show weakness, they're going to prey on you just like a predator, like a lion.
Right.
Rawr.
He loved the
I like the lion. I like the
segment.
lion.
That's what
Lion?
But I want to go ahead and tie off that a little bit. I was a new kid in school. I was bullied before. You may not think I'm this big guy now, right? I'm pretty confident, but I spin off of what he was kind of saying, his strength in numbers and everything is don't be afraid to fight back. If someone's cornering you, fight back, punch them in their mouth. And guess what? They're not going to like that. And they're not going to want to be punched in the mouth again. And it'll go away. I know that violence doesn't solve everything. But if it comes down to where they're beating up on you, don't be afraid to fight back because that's how you can make it stop. That's why we have self-defense class. So that way you can block that punch so you don't have to be physically harmed. And then maybe you do counter to inflict a little bit of harm so they'll stop. So they'll leave you alone.
So let me that because just throw this in because what I teach is fighting can get you out of a jam, but you have to be in the jam.
Right.
And then when he said the key word there was if you're cornered.
Right.
Now look, if there's 2 people and they're arguing back and forth, la la la, I'll kick your ass, whatever, and then they start fighting, well, that's on both of them because one of them can walk away. And I'm telling you, it takes a bigger man, a bigger person to walk away. It takes more courage to walk away than it does to stand up to somebody. Now, fighting back is what I teach is if you feel like your life is in danger, then yes, flight first. Fight or flight is the response. That's your nature's response. Flight first. If you can't get away, then you have to fight. And I
just wanted to touch up, I can really relate to everything you're saying. I feel like I have a solid memory in middle school where a kid was bullying me. This is a good friend of mine, and he was bullying me, I don't know how you call a friend, someone that's bullying you a friend, but this person would low-key bully me, you know, and then I told my mom, and it was like one of those things, like you tell your mom and it feels like, oh, he told his mom, but then it like everything backfired, everything escalated, and it was like the other way around. And like obviously it like leads into high school. And I like remember, I feel like I was a sophomore in high school, and this same kid is like in my face in one of these classes, and I just like say, if you're gonna hit me, just fucking hit me already. Let's get this over with. I just like stood my ground, and like he just couldn't hit me with, he said he wanted to hit me, but he just ended up like walking away. And I feel like that goes to what you're saying, like, yeah, stand up for yourself.
Standing up to him, yeah.
Yeah.
If there's a way that kids could learn that inner confidence before that attention of bullying comes at them, that'd be huge. That'd be critical. There's so many kids out there who are just shy. I'm shy. I don't act myself when I meet someone for the first time.
Mhm.
You know, so many little kids don't know how to act, and that could just backfire, and all of a sudden they're getting bullied, and something like that can affect them through middle school, through high school. It's awful. It's awful. It's awful. I hate this. I hate that.
You're not wrong about that.
So I'll respond to you, Drew, is, you know, it becomes when you tell a parent, so that becomes part of what being a good parent is too. And so one of the things that I teach adults with kids is like, look, if they come to you and say something, that something's happening at school or something happened, you know, and they're upset about it, you don't just go straight to the principal and tell the principal. You deal with the kid first.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's part of what martial arts does. Listen, these martial arts classes are filled with little kids that get picked on. And I'm telling you, it changes them. It changes them from the inside out. So a parent can do the same thing. They can help bring their kid back up, bring their confidence back up. You finally had enough and you stood up. And that's part of that confidence. You had enough strength inside you to stand up. And once they see that, they usually stop. So
It's not fun to pick on him anymore.
Right.
That's right.
No.
Yeah,
people-
my mom always tells us. Sorry, Drew. My mom
No,
always
you're good.
tells this story. Like when she was younger, this girl was like chased her home from school, and like her dad, Blake and I's grandpa, was like, dude, like you guys are gonna do this every time after school, blah blah blah. Like fight right now, right in front of me. Like get it over with, or like I'm done listening to it fighting. Like
Tired of the cat fights. He just wanted you to get.
and like a similar story, she did it in high school too. Like this girl, I think it was like Trisha Grinke, or I don't know what her name was, Greeny, whatever. But this girl like slapped her books out of my mom's hands, and like right in front of like all of her friends, and my mom just kicked her ass. And like the next day or something, like you bet your bottom dollar, like she was walking past her in school and did like with her head down, probably with a black eye or something.
I
don't
want to
know.
elaborate real fast. We don't want you to just start
Exactly.
you know,
I feel that.
if someone knocks books out of your hands, that's borderline where you probably should,
You know, yeah. Okay, right now.
but you know, don't if you have skills or you learn anything to, you know, how to throw a strike or a kick, don't become the bully. That's what you got to stay. That's what we're even talking about this for, is it's great to have the skills and to be prepared for any situation, but you don't want to take the skills to the wrong side of the spectrum and become the bully, and, you know, beat up on people that are weaker, because that's what people that are bullies do, is pick out the weak, and kick them while you're down, and everybody likes to gang up on people that are down. So you just don't be a person that's creating down people. Try to be a person that uprises people. If you do see someone that's being bullied, maybe like what Andy said earlier, is how you can grow that 1, 2, 3 numbers. If you see someone that's being bullied, go and stand by them. Maybe tell the bully, hey man, don't be a bully, or else now you're standing me versus and Driz and me versus the bully, or however you get into the situation. But that's what I want out of anybody listening, is to just always be the positive light of that situation.
I have a great question for Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Has there ever been a time where like you had to use your training And
Why don't you tell them the time that
Have you
showed
been
me
backed up or
basketball?
cornered?
So I'll tell you two stories, okay? So one story is it was May Day, 1965. What? We're back to 88 miles an hour. So
McFly.
rewind.
No.
Mayday.
What was that movie called?
So it's May 5th, right? May Day is May 5th. It's also Cinco de Mayo. And that is downtown Akron. It was used to be heyday. It was crazy. So 1996. It was after a Cleveland Indians game. And went crazy, went to all these bars and had a good time. And I got jumped by 5 guys behind a bar. Knocked the living crap out of me. All my training in the military, no, nothing. Almost lost my right eye, had a massive concussion and slept for 4 days straight. Probably could have died. But in reality, my training might have saved my life. Might have saved me from getting all of the teeth knocked out of my mouth instead of
Block
one.
that one punch that could end.
I know I took one of them out. I know it. Okay. But numbers. So that was a horrible experience. I had PTSD from this experience. So yes, let me tell you something. It didn't hurt a bit until the next day when I woke up, and it hurt for 4 days.
I can vouch. I actually saw him.
So
after that,
it was rough. Now, okay, 4 years ago, I was at a basketball tournament. You know how some of these AAU tournaments can get some of these parents are riled up, right? So I'm always the guy that's telling people to shut up, okay? Because I don't take it, you know, like they're ruining a freaking kid's game by being rowdy. So this
Just go there and watch the game.
yeah, this guy's being rowdy and he's like, shit, go, defense. I mean, he's just being stupid. I said, hey, you know, what are you doing? Can you just quiet down? And I'm literally 10, 12 feet from this guy and he tells me I'm in his personal space. And I said, okay, I'm just going to stand right here then. What are you going to do? So he gets all pissed off and comes in my face, nose to nose. And he goes like this. He says, I'm going to knock you out. And he said some other words. I'll leave that out. But he says, I'm going to knock you out like this. And I stood there and I said, is that right? And he was like, and just walked away. And dude, I could have wiped the floor with this guy. Okay. Wiped the floor with him. But I didn't do it. You know why? Because everybody was watching, and then I would have looked like the bad guy, and it would have been ugly, and I probably would have dragged him out the back door and just pummeled him. Okay.
But your training kicked in.
See, so the restraint, knowing that I can do this, I decided not to. And I decided to let this guy think about it for a second. Now, I was watching that fist, and he brought it like this. I mean, he was like here. And I was waiting for it.
You're probably some kid's hero. If like I was a little kid and I watched you punk some dude out by just saying, "Is that right?" Like, I'd be like, "Who is that guy?"
Yeah, right.
Listen, there was 3 refs, and they all stopped and were like,
Is that?
and I was
right?
like, and after it happened, I was like, oh man, that was really wild. And still to this day, I wish I would have knocked him out. But you know, that's the ego talking.
Right.
So we all have to work on that ego, right?
Yeah.
And ego is what gets you in trouble, and that's not going to win any battles. But you know, yeah, I've had some experiences, and I've had some situations where I had to take people down. So you know, one of the things I saw a guy at a hospital. He was harassing people for money in the parking lot, and he came up and asked me for money, and I said, "Hey, bud, this is probably not the place to ask for money." I knew it was for drugs. Looked like a crack addict. So I said, you know, this is probably not the place that you want to do that. And he, you know, flipped me off and walked away. And I saw him continuing to do that. So I walked up and I said, bud, we need to get out of here, you know? And he stepped towards me and I put him on the ground. I didn't punch him. I didn't choke him.
Just disabled him.
I just took him to the ground and had his arm up behind his back. And And I said, I'm going to let you up and I'm going to watch you walk off this property. And he stood up and he walked off the property. So I didn't break his arm, didn't hurt him, but you know, you have to have that ability to use restraint. If you know, like the old Spider-Man movie, with great power comes great responsibility, right?
That's the best one. Yeah.
Right? I use that all the time, and that's very true.
Because you know how uncomfortable that guy was making people feel at a hospital, that of someone that could be grieving, that lost someone, or going through something, just horrible family members in the hospital. They don't know what's going to happen. And that's almost like a superhero act. You might have just, the next person he might have asked could have been the one that, you know, did something that they pushed him over the edge, even though they might not have been in conflict with that specific crackhead guy. But maybe that made them go just into a spiral where they were too upset to even be able to grasp reality. So
I brought peace into that little parking lot, right? So being a peacemaker is what I vowed to do, basically. And anytime that I see something where I can help somebody, that's what I do. And that's where the bullying situation, if you can teach kids at a young age that, hey, if you see somebody in trouble, jump in and help, get them out of there, do something, hold the other person, do something. And, you know, you stick together and help each other and promote peace.
That's way more alike-minded to me right there.
Right? Exactly.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Like-minded.
We asked you questions. Do you have questions for aLikeMindz or any of us? I know you've watched some episodes. Why you have us here right on?
I don't have any questions for you, but I think that I just want to tell you what I think you guys are doing is a good thing, and you know, keep it on the positive side of things. And no matter what you do, you know, joking around and stuff is fun and all that. It's really good and it's good for entertainment, but don't ever bring anybody down. And that's my best advice, is to bring people up. You know, and when you guys have people on here and talk to them, you bring them up. You let them talk about what they want to talk about. You let me talk, and that helps me. And if that can help somebody else out there, I think that's a great thing.
Right.
And that's my words to you.
Yeah, I think that's key, honestly, is to letting someone talk, you know, without any judgment, right? So when you get to talk, it's
positive
awesome. Yeah, it's positive judgment. Right, exactly.
You want to create this environment that someone feels comfortable enough to be able to talk positive with.
Exactly, yes.
I talk to people, you know, sometimes that all they know how to do is just talk negative, only talk bad about people. That's all I think about. They're probably, you know, a bad person or a negative person, you know. But hey, I just thank you very much for just making me, when you said that, made me feel just great. Like, okay, well, someone is hearing our message, so hopefully it's touching, you know, reaching a few other people. Hopefully not touching anybody. I don't want to be touching too many people.
Not that way.
Yeah, that positive ripple, though, it's just like, it goes way, for me, for these guys, it goes way beyond just this podcast. Like, throughout everything I do in my day, even if I see an idiot driving on the street, I put myself in their perspective. I just throw in a comment like, yo, that person's running late for work. Or everything I do, just knowing that if you put something positive out there, instead of thinking a negative thought, do everything you can to shut that out. It's that ripple. So it's like, you're here on the podcast. I can tell already you're a positive person. You're someone I want to meet up with next time I'm at the lands. And, you know, like,
in the land.
Hey, I'll figure it out one day.
There you go.
I'll figure it out.
In the Medina.
In the Medina.
I don't want to cut you off, Meyer, but I wanted to like, Driz actually has kind of, we're all, you know, pretty alpha male kind of guys, all because we're all like-minded. We're all kind of the same. We're all trying to be in a group and organizing. Brothers all have arguments and conflicts, and something, this comes up, that comes up. But Driz is always trying to be that little bit of a light, meant to say, of like, hey man, you never know what somebody's going through.
Peacemaker.
And that, when Meyer was saying like that guy's like to work. That just made me think of when Drizz is said, you know, you never know what someone's going through, and be mindful of that. And that
That all comes full circle, Drew. I feel like I've seen Meyer do some stuff like that in person. I'm like, just laughed at Meyer. I'm like, I look at those guys, I'm like, you motherfucker. But then Meyer just makes me laugh about it. And I'm like, cool. So like I try to put that in perspective in life too, Meyer. Like maybe that guy, you know, maybe something's going wrong. Who knows?
Do whatever you can to stay
It's a good
positive.
thing. It's a good just way to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Let's say instead of just getting pissed off at somebody, like what Meyer just said, is you try to think of why is that person acting so wild or angry, and not provoke it. Don't get like for instance of your example, don't get into road rage. You know what I mean? Like you can just be the peacemaker person in that situation and just let them go on. They're having a bad day, and we're just gonna stay over here and be happy. And I think that's important. So,
man, this is what I'm saying. It's like,
Look something up.
at what point it's like I feel like I can just keep on going. It's like we're gonna have to have Andy. We're gonna have to have you come back on again, man. For sure.
I'd like that. Yeah.
Part two. Part
appreciate
two.
it.
definitely. I know one we haven't planned out too. We've talked about it a few times. It's really hard to organize a bunch of busy men that are all out working and taking care of their business like that. But Meyer had the idea that we all try to bring everybody that's been on a show to come into one show.
I can't wait for that. Yeah.
Kind of like feature everybody as just an appreciation for everyone. So besides that, I would love to have a whole nother episode. We could just me and him could just talk for like 2 hours at a job and be like, oh dang, we gotta do something.
Work at something.
We've done that. We've done that.
So it's definitely something that we could have plenty of good conversations, content, everything.
I get a good vibe from you guys. You guys are good people. So I appreciate it. And
I like you, Andy. Cheers.
Hey, yeah. Wonder powers activate. All right, boys. I just want to go ahead. We've been rolling, having a great show. It's been really, really fun. I honestly didn't imagine we would have such a great time. It's like you said, somebody said the time was flying. I just want to try and wrap it up. Give the opportunity to anybody that if you guys have anything else you want to say to Andy, or if you want to say anything,
good, man.
Andy, Drizz, you got anything?
Thanks for coming on the show, Andy.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, this isn't over. What I tell like everyone who comes on the show, it's like Drew here, who you're sitting next to, your nephew is a brother for life for me. I met him in real life. These guys are gonna be meeting him soon enough. Like this is lifelong. This isn't done. You know, we're going.
I'm okay with being the old man in the group here tonight. So.
Hey, you're not pretty soon enough. You're not going to be the oldest man in the group. I tell you that.
You're the wisest. You're the wisest.
There you go.
I'll take it.
But thanks again, Andy. I really appreciate you having me come to the house and getting out of your shell a little bit to just spread the knowledge to all of us. Anybody that's listening, check us out. Check us out. Make sure you're subscribing. We need your guys' help. Thank you so much. We just broke over 100 subscribers. I'm going to talk about this earlier in the show, but these are for the people that skipped to the end. So I appreciate you guys. We just broke, I think we're at like 120 or 30 or something like that. So we need you guys to keep going up because the ultimate goal is to be able to be monetized so we can give back to everybody that's viewing. We want to give back to the community. However,
there it is.
So we need you guys' help with the subscribing. That really, it goes a long way just by hitting a click on a little button. So the little red button there. So anybody else got something great to say? I know Blake, it looks like you got, what you want to say, Blake?
I just wanted to tell Andy, thank you for coming on and coming to talk to us about everything you went through and what you teach. And it's just nice to hear someone, not the attack, but the defense, it's kind of like cool to see that side of it. Right. And then we we had some little mishaps. I don't know. I'm just still like reminiscing. I just blew my tire out pulling in here.
It's not even real yet, is it?
We gotta get to work here.
Yeah, so I'm just
Back to reality.
Back to reality. All right, buddy. Well, I guess we'll cut it there and let you get your new tire changed out, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Hi,
It's
guys.
good.
Mudo.
I like Mindz, baby.
Like Mindz.
Love you guys.
All right.
Hell yeah, dude.
Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, guys.